implementing with SDLC real-time process, right? The first part, we got understand about how exactly the project need to be get started in the IT industry. What are all different kind of activities need to be done, and then completing with the project and releasing it, right? So that is which we got mentioning about SDLC real-time process according to real-time standards. According to real-time standards, how exactly that particular software steps need to be done, which we got understand on it. In simple, we used to be mentioning about SDLC real-time process here. Okay. Now, what is the meaning of SDLC?
Software development life cycle.
Software development life cycle, right? So the meaning of SDLC, we need to be mentioning about software development life cycle. So how exactly the software need to be developed, that is what we have been discussed. In simple, we mentioned like customers, different business will be there. In a certain stage, they will be required in a software. If they required in a software, need to be approach to IT company. Whenever they are approaching to the IT company, it will be having a very first document mentioning the RFP. What is the meaning of RFP?
For proposal. Request for proposal.
Request for proposal. The meaning of RFP mentioning the request for proposal. Based on that, BA guys will be taking care about and doing feasibility study and then requirement analysis. Once it is completed, conducting with kickoff meeting. What is the meaning of kickoff meeting?
Project confirmation.
Project confirmation. Conforming the project to that particular respective IT company. Once project has been confirmed, from there, project manager will be taking with a very important role. Project manager will be preparing with the document mentioning about PMP, considering as project management plan. Once PMP activity has been done, then we need to be with BRS document. Based on BRS document, which need to be SRS document here. Once SRS document is ready, based on that particular SRS document, the development activities need to be done. Testing activities need to be done. Developer taking care about development activities. Tester taking care about testing activities. Okay. Developer taking care about that particular development activities. Tester taking care about that particular testing activities here. Now, as a developer, taking care about coding part, code review, unit level testing, integration testing, and then build will be releasing. By the time of build is releasing, tester need to be done with requirements understanding, test plan, test scenarios, test cases. Once build is available, need to be start with execution and then taking care about bug reporting here. Once that particular bug reporting done, in a certain stage, multiple bills has been released, need to be taking care about. Once multiple bills has been released, need to be taking care about and performing different types of testing. As an example, smoke testing, sanity testing, retesting, regression testing, and then alpha testing and beta testing. Once beta testing has been completed, project will be moving into live environment. So that is how the project will be getting started and which it will be getting completed and then moving into live environment here. So now this particular whole part we need to be mentioning about SDLC real-time process here. Okay. Now, okay. So which need to be mentioning about, mentioning about taking with the next step. Okay. So which need to be mentioning about taking with the next step. That is, we need to be understand about SDLC models here. To implement these particular things, we need to be taking care about SDLC models. As part of IT industry, there are n number of models are available. According to the IT industry, there are n number of models are there. We are not taking care about all the models here. In simple, we need to be taking care about mentioning that waterfall model, and then we need to be taking care about V model. After that, we need to be taking care about Agile here. So there are other models also available which need to be taking care about this particular model. As part of interviews and as part of real time, at least we need to be comfortable about these particular models. Every model, it got its own advantages and it got its own drawbacks here. But which model need to be used? Which model need to be used? That will depends on client requirement. Based on client requirement, it will be getting decided which model need to be used. Best example, guys, let's take in a mobile. In a market, is it we got only one type of mobile? If we consider the mobile, is it we got only one model of the mobile in the market?
No, sir.
No, right?
No, sir.
N number of models are there, right? So N number of models are there. But
yeah,
if
only
we
one model. Yeah, only one model.
why model? Only one model you have in the market?
No,
Yeah.
sir.
The
No,
phone
right?
has only switch on and switch off, right? You take calls and give calls. So that's the basic model.
No,
I mean,
no.
different brands are available.
I'm talking about the models of the mobile. Okay. There are n number of the models of the mobiles are there. Functionality, okay. Now, which model need to be used? That will depends on user comfortable, right? So which model need to be used? That will depends on user comfortable. Because of one of the model is having very high features, all the features are there, you are not purchasing that mobile. You are looking into your comfortable, your requirement, your budget. According to your requirement, based on your budget, you will be deciding which model of the mobile need to be purchased. So same concept. When it's come to the testing, we got different type of models are there. Okay. Every model concept is same. Every mobile functionality is same. But way of features will make the difference from one model to another model here. Let's understand in a very detail. One by one, we'll be getting understanding about in a very detailed here. In that, the very first one, we need to be get understand about waterfall model. The very first one, we need to be get understand about waterfall model here. Okay. Now, let's understand in a very detailed here. Okay. Now, the very first understanding waterfall model is the very first model came into the IT industry. Okay. From the day of IT market has been started, from that particular day, we got a waterfall model. So whenever IT market has been started, from that particular day, waterfall model has been available. So we can say that waterfall model is a very first model came into the IT industry. Okay, right. So now see the concept here. Okay, now which see the concept. Whenever any project, whenever any project, nothing but software want to be get developed with the help of waterfall model. In case of any kind of software want to be developed with the help of waterfall model, what are the steps need to be done? According to the standards of waterfall, how the steps will be done? See that. First step, okay, first step mentioning about requirements gathering and analysis. First step is requirements gathering and analysis. After that, which need to be get mentioning about design. Okay. And then we need to be get mentioning about coding. Okay. After that, which need to be get taking care about testing. Okay. So which need to be get taking care about testing. After testing. Okay. So after testing, which need to be get mentioning about after testing, which need to be get mentioning about live environment and then production. Live environment and then production here. So this is what the steps need to be followed in case of developing a software with the help of waterfall model. Okay. Any software want to be developed with the help of waterfall model, first need to be get taking care about requirements gathering and analysis, design, and then coding, and then or while working waterfall model, it got its own advantages. Okay, so it is having this and then have drawbacks here. Okay, so what exactly drawbacks? First, we'll get understand about what are the drawbacks here. Okay, So first we'll get understand about what are the drawbacks of waterfall model, and then we'll get understand about advantages here. Okay, see that. Now, the very first drawback of waterfall model, let's consider developer and tester. In a very starting days of IT industry, going to the office, tester also going to the office. Now, developer coming to the company, office, and started because the reason is according to the standards of waterfall model. According to the standards of waterfall model, the whole after we have to start the activities need to be completed, tester will be ideal. So this is the main drawback of waterfall model. Not like only developer and tester. Developer, until unless design is not completed, it will not come to the coding. So here, see the concept. First, the whole requirements need to be completed. Then it will come to the design. The whole design part need to be done. Then it will come to the coding. The whole coding part need to be done. Then it will come to the testing. So once the whole testing completed, then it will be moving into live environment. So then it will be moving into live environment. Okay. So see the concept here. The main drawback. Okay. The main drawback of waterfall model, we can say that one phase has to be totally completed. Then only we can start with next phase. The main drawback of waterfall model, one phase has to be totally completed, then only we need to be get started with next phase. Until unless design is not completed, we cannot go with coding. Until unless coding is not done, we cannot go with testing. Until unless testing is not done, we cannot go with the live here. So first drawback. The first drawback is one phase has to be totally completed. Then only we can go with next phase here. First drawback. Second drawback. Second drawback is, see the concept. Developer doing with the coding, he will do the coding based on requirement document, nothing but design document. When developer doing with the coding based on design document, when developer is doing the coding based on design document, he got identified some issues in the requirement, not like properly not mentioned, or it got misdue, whatever it may. So there is some issue with the requirement. So developer has been came up with the issues related to the requirement. Then according to the hierarchy of waterfall, it's not like developer identified, immediately informed to the design team and resolved that and started the coding. It's not like only developer. Let's consider a tester. if tester has been identified any major issue, okay, in case of tester has been identified any major issue, then always it's need to be get start from first phase. See the concept. So the main drawback is any issues has been identified need to be start from first phase here. This is what two main drawbacks here. First drawback, one phase has to be totally completed, then only need to be start with next phase. Second drawback, any major issues has been identified need to be start from first phase. Third drawback, time consuming. Third drawback is time consuming, which will be taking more time to get complete with the project with the help of waterfall model here. So why it is gotten like waterfall? Let's take very general example. What is the common meaning of waterfall? The general meaning of waterfall.
Like a waterfall.
Up to down.
No,
The
not
water
up to
from
down.
one place to another place.
From top to down. From top to bottom.
From the top to bottom. Top down approach. Top to bottom approach.
Water falling from something.
Something top to bottom.
Top to
Right.
bottom. Top
Right.
to bottom.
Exactly. Ha.
Only forward step.
Ha. In simple, we can say from top to down. In a top, if water is not available, is that it will be coming to down? In the top, water is not
No, sir.
available,
No, sir.
but the water will come to down.
No, sir.
No, right? So no, not at all possible. So in a top, water has to be available, then only it will be coming to down here. So that is how the name has been provided as a waterfall. So how water has to be available in a top, then it will come to down. Again, one more step. Concept is same. In waterfall, first one phase has to be totally completed, then only it will be coming to next phase here. So these are we have any drawbacks while working with waterfall model. See the conclusion, the drawbacks of waterfall model. First drawback, one phase has to be totally completed, then only we can start with next phase. First drawback. Second drawback, any major issues has been identified need to be start from first phase. Second drawback. Another one, time consuming, which it will be taking more time to get complete this particular project here. So this is what we got any drawbacks of taking with waterfall model. At the same time, we have advantages also. We have drawbacks, we have advantages. What make you advantages? First advantage, projects need to be very small. Projects need to be very small. In case of project is very small, very easy to develop, very easy to test it. So that you are considering as a advantage here. Projects need to be very small kind of projects. The first advantage. So that the first one. Second thing, requirements need to be very clear. Okay, so requirements need to be very clear. So in case of requirements are very clear, it will be easy to understand, easy to develop, and easy to test it. So third, you will be mentioning about taking with requirements need to be very clear. Mentioning about taking the second advantage. First advantage is projects need to be very small kind of projects. Second advantage, requirements need to be very clear. Second advantage. Third advantage, you guys knowing about notepad application, notepad file, nothing but text file.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now, in the application, whenever you got install the notepad or purchase the laptop, from that day to till, did you guys see any updates in the notepad file?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Any new features got
No, sir.
implemented?
No,
No, right? From the day of Microsoft team has been introduced notepad file till today, that is same. There is no changes, there is no improvements because that application got fixed it. There is no further enhancements for that application. Okay. Now, the advantage of waterfall model also, the software which you are developing, the project what you are developing, you should not be having any further enhancements. Further enhancements will not be provided. So these three considering as a advantages with the respective of waterfall model. So every model we got its own advantages and it got its own drawbacks here. So one, it will be mentioning about small kind of projects. First advantage. Requirements need to be very clear. Second advantage. Further enhancement should not be provided. Third advantage. So every model, it got its own advantage. It got its own drawbacks. From your side, it's not like any practically how to do it. The reason I'm not going with the practical is, see here, when you're considering SDLC, everyone is a different one. Requirements gathering and design, BA will be taking care of it. So we cannot go with BA training. Coding done by developer. You're already knowing the developer role. Testing done by the tester role. That is what our training program. Going forward, you will be understanding in a very detailed of testing in practical. That will be doing. But not like coding, not like design, or not like review. But as part of the interview, you have to be comfortable about all these particular steps here. Okay? Right. Just 1 minute, guys. This is what we need to be mentioning about and getting considering with waterfall model here. So just you have to be comfortable. Okay. So you guys need to be comfortable and getting understanding the steps to be followed and what make you advantages and what make you the drawbacks. That part you have to clear, because when you're attending with the interview like fresher level, experience level, developer, tester, definitely you will be getting this question, because it's not like related to testing, not like related to development. This related to software, mentioning the SDLC models. So SDLC models means developing in a software, which is consist of all the things here. So you need to get comfortable what make you advantages, what make you the drawbacks, and what are the steps need to be done. Now, in waterfall model, whatever the drawbacks we got, the drawbacks we got in waterfall model, we need to be overcome in another model. Whatever the drawbacks, okay. So whatever the drawbacks we got in waterfall model, we got in V model. So we need to be understand what exactly mean by V model. So how we got overcome V model here. Okay, right. Let's see that. Let's look into that. So waterfall model, everyone is clear? Waterfall model, everyone
Yes,
is clear?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect then. Now, V model. Okay. This particular V model, we got another name. Okay. We can call as a V model, or we have another name mentioning about saying that verification and validation. We got in it two different names. We can call as V model, or which we will be getting considering as verification and then validation. Okay, so this V model, we got in it two things here. So one, it will be mentioning the verification, another one mentioning the validation. Based on people comfortable or an interview, they may ask you like, what is mean by V model and what is mean by verification and validation. Now, see the concept here. Verification done by developers. Okay, verification done by developers, taking care about developing the code according to the client requirement. So based on client requirement, they are developing with the code, which it will be getting considering with verification activities. Validation done by tester. Okay, validation done by tester. Tester will be taking care about doing validation activity. So the first understanding we can call as V model, or we can call as verification and validation. Verification done by developer, validation done by tester. Okay, now developer will take care about all development activity, tester will be taking care about all the testing activity. Okay, now what make you advantages while working V model? Okay, see the drawback of waterfall model. In waterfall model, we got in a drawback saying that like tester is waiting till the time of development part need to be completed. But when it's come to V model, in V model, from day one, okay, from day one, developer will continue development activities, tester will be continued testing activity. Okay, so while working with V model, developer will be continued development activity and tester will be continued testing activities. Okay, so now both the things will be done from day one. See the advantage of V model. Tester is not waiting till development need to be completed. From day one, developer will start his development activity and tester will start his testing activity here. This is the first advantage. So first advantage of V model, from day one, development activities and the testing activities will be done by parallelly. Okay, first
No
advantage.
more reading newspaper.
Okay. Right. So which need to be get from day one, developer and the tester, both the people will start their development activity, testing activity. First advantage. Second advantage, developer need to be get develop an application. Okay, developer need to be get develop an application based on requirement documents here. Tester also need to be get test an application based on requirement documents. Okay, so developer need to be get develop an application by referring the requirement document. Tester need to be get refer with the testing by referring the requirement document. Both the people, okay, both the people are referring the same requirement document, right? So both the people are, both the people are referring which will be taking with same document only. Now, developer referring the requirement document, he got some confusion, he got some question mark, he can connect with the tester because tester also going through same requirement. Now, it can get clarified from the tester. Or tester got some question, was not clarified with the requirement, he can communicate with the developer. See the concept, guys. Two different people referring the same requirement document. By that, there is a possibility we can understand in a more better manner because two different people, two different mentalities. Developer is different, tester is different. Both the people are referring the same document. There is a chance of understanding in a more better manner by having the discussion. By this, there is a chance of identifying the bugs as early as possible. The second advantage of V model, not like guarantee, possibility of identifying the issues as early as possible. So this is second advantage. First advantage is development testing. Both are done by parallelly. Second advantage is possibility of identifying the issues as early as possible. These two considering as a advantages. At the same time, we got a drawbacks also. At the same time, we are having drawbacks. Every model, it got its own advantages and it got its own drawbacks here. Drawbacks of V model. First drawback, we can say that dependency on documentation. First drawback of V model, dependency on documentation. In case of requirement documents are not available, developer cannot go with development activity, tester cannot go with the testing activity. Very detailed documentation has been required. It may be waterfall, it may be V model, documentation should be very clear. Okay, so one drawback. Second drawback is, let's see here. First we got developer will develop the application. As part of our understanding, we are clearly mentioned that the whole application cannot be developed in one day. The whole application cannot be tested in one day. It will be done like module wise, like module 1, module 2, module 3. That is what we mention like build wise. First build 1 will be done. It will be giving to the testing team. After that, build 2, again giving to the testing team, build 3, giving to the testing team. Now as a tester, build 1 testing completed, build 2 testing completed, build 3 testing completed. See the terminology, guys. Understand the terminologies. I'm saying that build 3 testing is completed. But because of build 3 testing completed or build 2, build 1 testing completed, is that project will be moving into the live environment? Because of build 1, build 2 testing
No, sir.
completed, is that possible the project will be moving into the live environment?
No,
No, sir. No, no.
All right. So when it
That's
will
not
be
possible.
going to live?
When
Beta test.
yes.
When all the build completed and the testing completed.
After beta test.
After testing, sir.
I mean, after testing means nothing but after completion of all the builds according to that particular project. Or in simple, we can say that after completion of beta testing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to done all these things, like we have to do smoke testing, sanity, lot of testings need to be done. Multiple builds we have to test it. So to perform all these things, it will take some time, depends on the requirements of client. To complete all the testing activity, it may take in a time of 2 weeks of the, 1 month of the time, or 2 months, or 6 months, 1 year, 2 years also. There are a lot of long-term projects are there, which will be taking sometimes 2 years to complete the whole project here. So here, see the concept. So the client has to be wait for 1 year to see how his project is, how his project is working in the live environment. Because still 1 year, what is happening? Development is going on, testing is going on, different types of testing, different type of development, whatever it may be. But after 1 year, the client is able to see his project is displaying in the live environment. Now, if everything working, no issues at all, but if something goes wrong in live, again, all the rework need to be done here. So this is what the drawback of V model here. The drawback. First drawback is dependency on documentation. Okay. Second drawback, client has to be wait more time for project visibility in the live environment. Okay. So client has to be wait more time for the project visibility in the live environment. These two we got a drawbacks here. So every model, it got its own drawbacks and it got its own advantage. See the conclusion. See the conclusion of V model. First is, we can call as V model, or we can call as verification and validation. Verification done by developers. Validation done by testers. Now, while working V model, we got advantages and we got drawbacks here. Advantages of V model. The first advantage, development activities and testing activities can be done in parallel. From day one, developer will start development activities, tester will start testing activities. Okay. Second advantage, possibility of possibility of identifying the issues in starting stages as early as possible. We need to begin identify it. These two advantages. At the same time, we got a drawback here. What make you drawback? First drawback, dependency on documentation. Okay. First drawback, dependency on documentation. Second drawback, client has to be wait more time for the project visibility in live environment. Okay. So these are, we have advantages and we have drawbacks here. But the steps are same. It may be waterfall model, it may be V model, any SDLC model. First is requirements, and then requirements gathering, analysis, design, coding, testing, live. Those steps are same, but the way of performing will make you the difference here. Now, in waterfall model and in V model, in waterfall model and V model, whatever the drawbacks we got, okay, in waterfall model and then V model, whatever the drawbacks we are having, that particular all drawbacks we got overcome in another model mentioning that Agile. Okay. Whatever the drawbacks we got in waterfall model and V model, we got overcome in Agile here. If we consider current market, for the current IT industry, waterfall model almost you can consider outdated. Okay. Waterfall model almost you can consider as a outdated here. V model, very less chances. V model, very less chances to implement in V model. The projects, maximum of the IT projects are implementing in Agile only. So the current industry working with Agile model here. So that we have to understand what exactly mean by Agile, how we need to begin work with the Agile, everything we need to be discussed. I'll be discussing. Don't be in a hurry making a note of each and everything, guys. Okay. Nothing to worried about writing, making a note of each and everything. For your understanding purpose, if you want to make a note, you can make a note. But I will be providing the PDF file. Whatever the things I'm discussing in each and every session. Okay. So whatever the things I'm discussing in each and every session, I will be providing the PDF file. By tomorrow or day after tomorrow, I will be providing with the PDF file. So nothing to worry in making a note of each and everything. So whatever the things I'm explaining in each and every session have been very clearly documented. You guys will be getting the access for the PDF file here. Okay. Right. Now we need to begin understand about Agile here. Okay. Let's look into that. So up to now, everyone is clear? Waterfall V model.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone clear? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect, guys. Good. Right.
Let's start tomorrow, Ajay.
Why tomorrow? Today is not the good day, yeah?
New topic.
No, sir. Continue, sir. Continue, sir.
Any Durmuhurtam is there? No. Okay. I'll continue. Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Now, we need to begin understand about Agile here. Okay. See the concept here. So whenever you are considering the current IT industry, Agile is one of the most important concept need to be understood. It's not like you will be implementing Agile because you are into mainly fresher level or experience of 2 years, 3 years, whatever it may be. So as a fresher level or experience level of like 3 years or 4 years, you have to be comfortable, aware of the terminologies, the terminologies vishayali. What kind of terminologies are there in Agile that you have to be comfortable, and how this Agile part will be done. Let's see that. Now, most of the time, rather than calling as a Agile model, okay, rather than calling as a Agile model, we need to begin considering as a process. Most of the time, okay, most of the time we used to be say that, okay, so most of the time we used to begin mentioning about in the interviews, interviewer will be asking in a question, explain Agile process, or some of the interviewer asking about explain Agile model. So don't get assume that, okay, so don't get assume that both are two different things here, okay, so don't get assume that two different things. If interviewer is asking that explain Agile process or explain Agile model, concept is same. And very rare cases, interviewer will be asking about directly saying that explain the whole Agile process. A very rare cases. Most of the time, they will be asking about Agile terminologies here. Okay, basically the interviewer will be asking about the Agile terminologies. Let's understand one by one. Okay. Now, first is we can call as Agile process, or we can call as a Agile model. Okay. Whenever we are talking about Agile, okay, so whenever we are discussing about Agile, in Agile, the very most important terminology, okay, in Agile, the very first terminology and the very most important term, we can say that is Scrum Master. Okay, the very first term or terminology, we can say that Scrum Master, not Dance Master. Okay, so Dance Master, he is also master. Scrum Master, he is also master. But Dance Master totally different. Scrum Master is totally different. Whenever we are working in Agile, okay, so whenever we are working in Agile, Scrum Master will be playing a very important role in handling the whole Agile project here. Okay, Scrum Master will be playing a very important role in handling the whole Agile process here. So what exactly mean by this? Who is this? Anyone knows about this term, Scrum Master?
No, sir.
Heard
Team
about
lead,
it?
Scrum Master is the product manager. Yeah.
Not
Team
ready.
lead.
Organizes meetings and organizes everyone. Handles everything.
Okay, right. Let's take the conclusion.
Someone is playing the music.
Yeah, let's take the conclusion here. Okay, in simple, in a very simple terminology, how we can say that. So like you guys are already knowing about this part of BA, mentioning the business analyst. In case of waterfall model, V model, the terminology going with BA, business analyst. For BA, next role, like first we got software tester or software engineer, senior software engineer, team lead, and then manager, different level. When you consider BA, most of the time, BA people, the next level, they can work as a Scrum Masters here. Okay, so what exactly the Scrum Masters will be doing is, this particular Scrum Masters, okay, or this particular Scrum Master need to be communicating with the client. Okay, so need to be communicating with client here, and then gather all the requirements related to the project, whatever the requirements are there, that particular requirements need to be gathered by the Scrum Master. Okay, next. Once he got collected, I mean, Scrum Master, he got gathered the requirements by having multiple meetings here. So Scrum Master will conduct the multiple meetings with the client, and they will understand, client will explain. So Scrum Master, this is what my requirement, this is how my application need to be developed. Then what Scrum Master will be doing, he will gather all the requirements. Then that particular requirements, he will be delivered to, okay, so he will be delivered to project manager. Or else, in your simple understanding, how you can consider is, you guys heard about
Postman.
offshore team and then onshore team? Offshore, onshore, knowing about that?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
What is
No,
the
sir.
meaning of onshore?
Also means out of India, at the client side.
Onshore, the client,
Client.
maybe UK, US, China,
Onshore means, sorry, offshore means?
Nepal. Offshore is India,
Offshore means
Pakistan,
from the just working as a supporting kind of.
Hyderabad, Bangalore,
Right.
Delhi, Mumbai, Pune.
Exactly. In simple, how you can understand this, I mean, offshore is nothing but company location. Okay. If you get considered with the offshore company location, for example, I worked in Accenture Hyderabad, I'm working in offshore. My client is BOFA, Bank of America, US. Okay, so for some time we went for US and we work in the client location of the BOFA. So that is client location. Working from the company location, considering as a offshore. Working from client location, considering as a onshore here. Now, what this Scrum Master will be doing? Scrum Master, you can consider mediator between onshore team and then offshore team here. So Scrum Master collect all the requirements from the client, delivered to offshore team here. Mainly, he will be discussing with the project manager, saying that, so project manager, this is what I got the requirements from the client. So let's decide how we can do our development activities or testing activities, whatever it may be. Now, what this project manager will be doing, he got any requirements. So he will take help of the Scrum Master in understanding the requirements and then coming up with documenting that particular requirements. Initially, the requirements will be documented in a high level, not like into very detailed here. So they'll have one Word document or their own template. In one Word document, they will get documented with high level requirements. That particular document, we got an official name. That particular document, we got an official name mentioning about in getting saying that product backlog. Okay, mentioning about product backlog, not BTech backlog. Your BTech backlogs are totally different. This backlog is totally different. The meaning of product backlog, documenting high level requirements, or in simple, you can consider high level requirements based on this particular high level requirements. Based on this particular high level requirements, you will be getting one more terminology mentioning that user stories, not love stories, not movie stories here. Okay, not that stories here. Mentioning about no romantic stories here. No, don't go with that part. Now,
There are many
user
romantic
stories.
participants.
User stories. It is clearly saying that the terminology is user. So end users here. Okay. So end user, what exactly the requirements they are expecting? Nothing but we can say that low level requirements. We can say that low level requirements. Sometime in simple way, how we can say is some of the people will mention that group of user stories considering as a one product backlog. You can see one of my project, if we take with my client, how exactly the user stories has been provided. I mean, in the project, how that user stories will be done. So this is how you will get in a user stories. Okay, like related to the project, related to that particular project, this is how the list of the user stories will be provided. So based on user story, see the difference, guys. In case of waterfall model, V model, based on requirement document like SRS document, BRS document, you have to go with development and testing. In a place of that, when it's come to Agile, in a place of SRS document, you will get a user stories. Concept is same, but the way of terminologies will make you different. In Agile, you have to see what are the list of the user stories assigned with your name. You have to start working on that here. Okay. So concept is very easy, guys. See the concept. First is Scrum Master, mediator between onshore team and offshore team. Scrum Master collecting the requirements delivered to offshore team. Offshore team, mainly project manager, coming up a product backlog with the help of Scrum Master. After that, user stories will be prepared. Once user stories are done, now for example, see my client, as an example I given, I got 11 user stories. So working on 11 user stories at the same time, which is not like possible, right? All the user stories, we cannot work at the same time, or we cannot complete in one single shot. Okay. For that, what Scrum Master has to be do it? Already Scrum Master got the requirements and user stories done. Based on user stories, like 10 user stories, 20 user stories, 50 user stories, 100. Based on user stories, Scrum Master and project manager need to be come up with the plan. Okay, they have to be come up with one plan. Okay, totally how many user stories are available. So when it has to be start, when it has to be complete, that plan need to be done. So the terminology, rather than saying within the plan, it will be mentioning about sprint plan. Okay, rather than saying within the plan, which we will be mentioning about sprint plan here. So the meaning of sprint, that word of sprint, consider as a process according to Agile. The terminology of sprint, consider as a process here. Okay. So the word which we will be mentioning about sprint plan. So Scrum Master need to be come up with the plan in getting saying that. So for now, we are having 50 user stories. In this 50 user stories, first we have to work 30 user stories. In that 30 user stories, first we have to start working with the first 5 user stories. So once 5 user stories completed, when it has to be released, all these particular 50 user stories, when it has to be started, when it has to be complete, how it has to be released, that part need to be done. Mentioning about in getting saying that sprint release. First is plan. First coming up the plan. What are all total user stories are there? Then how many user stories we have to work and how that release need to be done. That is mentioning about sprint release. Maximum of agile projects. Maximum of agile projects. The sprint release done by sprint wise, saying that sprint 1. Okay. Or we can say that sprint 2. So first sprint 1 will be released. Once sprint 1 release completed, sprint 2 will be released. After that, taking with sprint 3. And then which it will be mentioning about sprint 4. Like that, till the time of that project is completing, the respective sprints will be completed. Same concept of build. In case of waterfall and V model, we are calling as build 1, build 2, build 3, build 4. When it's come to agile, rather than calling as a build, we need to be mentioning about sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3, sprint 4. Most of the time in the interviews, definitely you will get in a question asking that what is the duration of your sprint release or sprint. The interviewer will be asking in a question, what is the duration of the sprint?
2 to 4 weeks.
Now you can see here, maximum of agile projects, 80% of agile projects, any sprint working with 2 weeks here. 80% of the time, any sprint will be working with the 2 weeks here. If required, not like mandatory, if required, it may go with 4 weeks or sometime 6 weeks, a very rare cases here. Maximum 80% of, okay. So 80% of, right?
What the heck was that?
80% of sprint release working with 2 weeks of the sprint only here. So if interviewer is asking in a question, what is your sprint release? Directly can say that we work with 2 weeks of the sprint. In this 2 weeks of the sprint, what we have to do as a tester, developer, what need to be done? See here. Now, 2 weeks of the sprint from developer side and testing side. Both the people need to be get complete with requirements part. Developer need to be understand development activity. Tester need to be get understand testing activity here. And once requirements part is done, developer need to be get taking care about coding activity. After that, tester need to be get taking care about testing activity. So tester need to be take care about testing activity, and then moving into live environment and production. See the advantages of V model here. Within 2 weeks, whole project is not completing. It will never possible to complete the whole project in 2 weeks here. Like model wise, the first model like login page as a sprint 1, it will complete. Development will be done, testing also will be done, and it will move into live environment. So within 2 weeks, client is able to see how his project is displaying in the live environment. By that, in case of any changes need to be done, immediately client will be suggesting that no, this is not my live environment, this should not be displayed, so some of the modifications need to be done. It's only 2 weeks, very small functionalities you are doing, very easy to take the rework here. So this is what the main advantage of Agile. Client interaction will be the very more when you compare with waterfall and V model. Now sprint 1 completed, 2 weeks completed, then sprint 2 will start it. Again, sprint 2, requirements part, coding part, testing part, live environment and production here. So that will be continued till the time of the whole project is getting completing. All that particular respective sprints will be done here. So this is how the Agile steps need to be done. So now where you guys will be coming into the picture, once sprint 1, like sprint has been decided, what are the user stories are there, then you guys will be coming into the picture and need to be taking care about development activities and then testing activities here. So this
Who makes
is
the
what,
user stories, sir?
no,
Who
repeat.
makes the user stories?
User stories and then products backlogs will be done with the help of Scrum Master along with the project managers. And sometime team lead also will be involving in taking care about these things here. Okay.
What is Scrum Master, sir?
Scrum Master is a
It's
one
Scrum Master,
person.
not Dance Master, man. It's Scrum Master, not a Dance Master.
Scrum Master is one of the person. He is one employee who is having a very good experience in the IT industry in interacting with the client. Okay, so what Scrum Master will be doing, he will be communicating with the client and then he will be gathering with the requirements here. So the role of Scrum Master is mediator between onshore team and offshore team here. Okay,
Sir,
clear on that?
sir, I have a doubt, sir. Scrum Master means only one person is there in company?
No, not like company. In company, multiple Scrum Masters will be there. Like how different projects will be there. For maximum of like 2 projects, 3 projects, 1 Scrum Masters will be there. Depends on it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. What is sprint? What is sprint means? Sprint is considered as a process. Like we are following then a process, right? The terminology of sprint according to the Agile, it can consider as a process here. Okay. Right. So the conclusion, first Scrum Master collect the requirements, deliver to offshore. In offshore, project manager coming up with product backlog and then user stories. Based on user story, sprint plan. Based on sprint plan, sprint release. Based on the sprint release, the release will be done like sprint wise, sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. Any sprint, first requirements, coding, testing, and immediately moving into the live environment. So that is how the steps need to be done. Okay. What is product backlog? The meaning of product backlog is nothing but requirements only. We can call as a high level requirements that you are considering as a product backlog. Difference between BA and Scrum Master. For BA next level, you can consider as a Scrum Master. Or in simple, you can consider that like BA waterfall model, V model. When it's come to the Agile, the terminology came up with Scrum Master here. Okay. Is there any chance to travel abroad of tester employee? Absolutely. Even it's not like only developers will be moving to the on-site, testers also will be having with the on-site options here. So product backlog means, meaning of product backlog is requirements, guys. Don't be confused there. What project manager is doing, he was discussing with the client, he got the requirements. Requirements need to be documented here. The document name, rather than calling as a Word document, we are calling as a product backlog here. Sprint and build both are same. Yes, you can consider sprint and build both are same here. Yeah. No, your voice is breaking, man.
User stories, sir. User stories, sir.
User stories also requirements. Product backlog, user stories, both are requirements only. But product backlog, high level requirements. User stories, low level requirements here. Okay. Right, you can see this user stories here. Now this is what my user stories for one of the project. This is how we got an user stories. Nothing but requirement. Now how to see this user story? Mentioning that as a user, customer and employee has to be changed with the password. So to change with the password, what are the functionalities I have to test it? How to be come up with all the things here. So group of this user stories, you can consider as a one particular group of this user stories. You can consider as a one particular product backlog here. Okay. Right. Okay. So everyone is clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Perfect. Now, next, continue the same. Okay, continue the same. Now in Agile, one more concept we have to understand. When we are considering waterfall model and V model, in waterfall model and then V model, we got very less importance for meetings and then more importance for documentation. In case of Agile, hardly like 1 week or 2 weeks of time, we will attend 1 or 2 meetings here. But in Agile, we got a very regular meetings are there. In Agile, very regularly need to be taking care about and getting attending with the meetings here. Okay. So in Agile, we need to be taking care about with the meetings here, because in Agile, very more importance for the meetings and then very less importance for the documentation. V model and then waterfall, more importance on documentation, less importance for the meetings. Agile, more importance for the meetings and less importance for the documentation. In that, there are lot of meetings are there saying that which need to be get mentioning about stand-up meeting and then taking with status meeting, and then we need to be get mentioning about Scrum meeting. So stand-up meeting, status meeting, Scrum meeting. This is we have to discuss. It's not like only these 3 meetings here. Still a lot of other meetings are there, but at least we have to be comfortable in understanding what are these meetings here. And after that, we have to get understand about working hours. In case of Agile, how the working hours will be divided. That we have to discuss. That we'll be discussing. By that, we'll stop at Agile. Then we have to start our actual things, that is STLC. Till now, we are into SDLC, discussing about software development life cycle, the theory part. From tomorrow, we'll be getting started with the project testing, nothing but STLC. What is the meaning of STLC?
Software testing
Development life cycle.
Software,
Testing life
no,
cycle.
no,
testing
STLC,
life cycle.
testing life cycle, software testing life cycle. So our actual training program is testing. So how we need to be test an application. So that we have to get started. So from tomorrow, we'll be taking with the project testing here. So from there, we'll be getting started our actual testing activities. But all these things, why we are discussing about is you guys need to be get comfortable about all these particular terminologies here. So if you refer our previous session, which we have been discussing about SDLC real-time process. So first we got understand about in getting implementing SDLC real-time process. After that, we got understand about in getting working with SDLC models. So first, we got discussed about the process, and then we have been discussed about SDLC models. As part of SDLC models, one we got mentioning that, okay. So one we got mentioning the waterfall model, and then V model, and then Agile. There are other models also available, but at least we need to be get comfortable in getting discussing and getting understanding about saying that waterfall model, and then V model, and then Agile here. Any model, any SDLC model, the concept is same, right? Any SDLC model, the concept is same. Need to be get taking care about the whole development activities here. Okay. Now, while working, every model, it got its own advantages and it got its own drawbacks here. Which model need to be get using? Which model need to be get using? That will depends on project requirement, and based on that particular client requirement, it will be decided which model need to be used here. Okay. Now, if we get consider waterfall model, we have in a drawbacks mentioning that one phase has to be totally completed, then only we need to be get start with next phase here. That is the very first drawback. And the second thing mentioning that any major issues has been identified, need to be start from very first phase here. Second drawback. Third drawback mentioning about time consuming. The third drawback mentioning about time consuming. Third, it will be mentioning about considering as a drawbacks here. At the same time, we got an advantages here. If we get consider advantages, if we get consider advantages, mentioning that this particular waterfall model can be applied for small kind of projects. The small kind of projects we can get implementing waterfall model. After that, requirements need to be very clear. So whenever you're working with waterfall model, the requirements part will be more clear. After that, further enhancements will not be provided. So this will be getting considered advantages of waterfall model here. Now, whatever the drawbacks we got in waterfall model, that we need to be get overcome in V model here. Now, V model we can call as verification and validation. V model we can consider as verification and validation. Verification taken care by developer, validation taken care by tester. While working with V model, we got advantage of development activity and testing activity will be done in parallelly. Development activities and testing activities will be done parallelly. From the day one, developer will start his development activities. Tester will be starting his testing activities here. Okay. Another advantage, while working with this particular, while working with this particular V model, there is a possibility of identifying the issues as early as possible. So whenever we are working with V model, as early as possible, we can identify the issues. We got advantages. At the same time, we got drawbacks of the model, mentioning the dependency on documentation. Dependency on documentation. First drawback. Second drawback, client has to be wait more time for the for the project visibility in the live environment. So further, whatever the drawbacks we got in waterfall model and then V model, all that particular drawbacks we got overcome in Agile here. So now that is what we have been started in getting discussing about Agile. Agile we can call as a process, we can call as a model. Let's see that. So we are already done the step. Still some more concepts need to be discussed. Let's understand about the concepts related to Agile here. Okay, let's see that. Just 1 minute, guys. I'll be back. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute. Right. So now, which need to be get understand about this particular agile part here. So the one common understanding, as we are already mentioning that this particular agile we can call as a process, which it will be considered as a model. So whenever we are working with the agile, we can call as a process or which will be considering as a model. Okay. Now, in Agile, the very first terminology and very most important terminology, we got mentioning the Scrum Master, which need to be get mentioning about Scrum Master. This particular Scrum Master is one of the person who is taking care about in getting interacting with the client and then doing requirements gathering. Scrum Master will be getting communicating with the client and then gathering all the requirements based on that particular project. That particular requirements will be delivered to offshore team. So in simple, we mentioned that Scrum Master is the mediator between onshore team and offshore team. The requirements will be having in a discussion with project manager. This particular project manager having in a discussion of Scrum Master, understanding the requirement, those particular requirements will be putting into documentation. That particular documentation considering as a product backlog. But the documentation done in high level consider as a product backlog. Based on product backlog, which you will be getting user stories, nothing but low level requirement. Once user stories are available, once user stories are available, based on that particular user stories, once user stories are available, based on user stories, the Scrum Master need to be get come up with sprint plan. According to sprint plan, according to the plan, release need to be done. That will be mentioning about considering with sprint release. Okay. And then which need to be get taking care about with the sprint release done by sprint wise here, saying that sprint 1 and then sprint 2, sprint 3, it will be continued till the time of project is completing. Any sprint working with 2 weeks of the duration, any sprint always working with 2 weeks of duration. Okay, it can be any sprint here which it will be working with 2 weeks of the duration. Okay, now if required, it will be going with 4 weeks or very rare cases 6 weeks here, but always working with 2 weeks of the duration. That particular sprint 1 or any sprint within that particular 2 weeks, requirements part need to be done from the developer and tester. After that, developer need to be get taking care about coding activity, and then tester need to be get taking care about testing activity. Once testing completed, that particular part will be moving into live environment or production. See the advantages here. More connectivity with the client, more interaction with the client, and very fast the project will be completed. because every 2 weeks the release has been done. As early as possible, we can complete with the project. Because of that, nowadays, most of the projects are getting implementing in Agile. At the same time, another advantage in Agile, we can say that meetings here. Another advantage in Agile, we can say that meetings here. There are a number of meetings are there. There are a number of meetings are there, but in common mentioning about one, you will be saying that stand-up meeting. So one mentioning that stand-up meeting, another one mentioning the status meeting, and then we need to get mentioning about Scrum meeting, right? So one, it will be mentioning the stand-up meeting, and another one status meeting, and then Scrum meeting. What exactly mean by this? In case of any other model, more preference on documentation, less preference on meetings. In case of Agile, less preference on documentation, more preference on meetings here. This particular stand-up meeting, what exactly mean by stand-up meeting? Okay, see the concept. The meaning of stand-up meeting, we can say that a small duration of the meeting, not like half an hour, 1 hour, small duration, maximum of 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, a maximum of 10 to 15 minutes of the meeting, having discussion of plan for the day. Okay, plan for the day. On that particular day, what kind of activities you have to do it. Always stand-up meetings conducted on morning hours, your morning hours. Okay, maximum according to the standards of Agile, the stand-up meeting will be conducted in morning hours on daily basis. Because of that reason, you guys can cross-check any of your friends in the real time working in Agile project, developer, tester, whatever it may be. The one who are working on Agile process, most of the time, those guys will be very hurry in reaching to the office, because always the Agile, your work will be started with stand-up meeting. In that particular meeting, you will be having a discussion. Today, what you have to be work? Is that you have to work on manual testing or automation testing? In case of manual, is that you have to work on requirements or scenarios, test cases? Nothing but you will be having clear picture of, okay, today I need to be work on this particular task. Okay, so that you will be getting having with the discussion. At the same time, apart from the plan, okay, apart from the plan, you will be having discussion of any issues. Issues means not like personal issues here. Okay, not like personal issues related to the project. Like you identified in a bug, you reported in a bug, but developer not accepting that bug. So why developer is not accepting the bug? Discussion. You are not very clear one of the user story. So any kind of issues related to the project, it will be having in a discussion. So in the meeting itself, it will be having with the possibility to get with the solution. So random, I mean, immediately you're getting with the solutions here. Because in this particular stand-up meetings, manager will be available, leads will be available, development lead, testing lead, and then developers will be available. After that, testers also will be available. As all the people are available, okay, as all the people are available, in case of any project related, guys, please make sure that you are unmute, guys. Guys, everyone, please make sure that you are on mute.
What's that?
Yeah, right. Now, so here, this particular stand-up meeting, okay, as all the people are available, you got some issue related to the project, come up with that. As all the people are available, you will be having a discussion and they will be getting with the solution here. So this is what make with the advantage here. So these particular meetings, according to Agile standards, stand-up meeting need to be conducted on daily basis in morning hours. Okay. Next, status meeting. What exactly mean by status meeting? Stand-up meeting conducted on morning hours. In morning, he got in a plan what he had to work on it. So in morning, it's decided you have to work on documenting the test cases. Okay. Then status meeting will be conducted on daily basis in evening hours. Okay. Status meeting need to be conducted on evening hours here, which need to be conducted on evening hours. Okay. So here, morning you got a plan, evening you need to be provide with the status here. So evening you need to be provide with the status. Like morning you got in a plan of working on test cases. By the evening, how many test cases you have been completed? How many test cases you have been written? That status you have to be provided. At the same time, while writing the test cases, any kind of issues has been faced it, or any kind of issues related to the project having with the discussion. So by this, you're working on regular basis will become in a very easy, very fastly, the project will be completed. In status meeting also, managers will be available, leads will be available, developers will be available, and testers will be available. So one, you will mention that stand-up meeting, another one, status meeting, and the last thing, Scrum meeting. Stand-up meeting, status meeting need to be conducted on daily basis. Scrum meeting need to be conducted based on availability of Scrum Master. Okay, Scrum meetings will be conducted based on availability of Scrum Master. Okay, so here the meaning of Scrum Master, the meaning of Scrum Master, we can say that in simple, Scrum meetings in simple, meetings conducted by Scrum Master, meetings conducted by Scrum Master related to sprint release or user stories, related to sprint release or user stories. So what Scrum Master will be doing? He'll set up in a meeting with development team and testing team, having the discussion, saying that, so the whole team, this is what our sprint plan. In the sprint one, these many user stories need to be completed. These are all different type of user stories need to be worked. Or sometime as a tester, you gone through the user story, you got understand, but there are some clarification related to the requirement. You can set up the meeting with the Scrum Master and they'll get clarify all your requirements here. So this is what mentioning about stand-up meeting and then status meeting and then Scrum meeting. Very simple, guys. See the conclusion. Stand-up meeting, a small duration of the meeting, having a discussion of plan for the day and any issues related to project. Status meeting, status related to that particular assignment for that particular day, and then any issues related to that particular task. Stand-up meeting conducted on morning hours. Status meeting conducted in evening hours here. Okay. Scrum meeting conducted by availability of Scrum Master to have any discussion related to user stories or related to sprint release here. Okay. And then the last one, we need to be get understand about working hours. In common, if we get consider IT companies, what will be the working hours?
8
Working
hours.
hours of IT company.
8 hours.
9 hours, sir. Midnight.
4 hours.
Midnight. 10 to 5.
9 hours.
9 hours.
Talking about a day. Okay.
Week
10 hours, sir.
Right. In simple, in a very simple, we can consider like 8 hours. Basically, it depends on company.
If the
Some
boss
com-
is bad, you also have to work on week.
Right.
The boss is bad.
Right. Some companies will be asking about for 9 hours, 9.5 hours, but it
Also-
will vary
also-
from company to company here.
Also weekends.
Okay. Right.
Weekends.
Yeah. Weekends, that's even in your interest here. Okay. So here, working hours, it's vary from one particular company to another company. In a common, I'm considering like 8 hours. Okay. Now, whenever we are working on waterfall model or V model, in case of the project got implemented in waterfall model or V model, what test lead will be doing? He will come up with the testing activities, whereas tester can work for total 8 hours. So what test lead will be doing? He will prepare the plan. Okay. So whenever he was preparing the plan, he will be considering as a tester has to be spent the whole 8 hours for testing activities. Okay. In case of Agile, it has been divided into two things here. This particular 8 hours has been divided into two things here. One, it will be mentioning about 6 hours. Another one mentioning about 2 hours here. The whole 8 hours has been divided into two things here. 6 hours and 2 hours. So what test lead will be doing? Test lead will be consider 6 hours need to be spent for the purpose of implementing with testing activities. Okay, per day. Per day, the 6 hours need to be get implementing with testing activities. Remaining 2 hours. What about remaining 2 hours? Remaining 2 hours.
Status meeting.
Remaining 2
Lunch
hours.
That's
Yeah.
time.
We can say that meetings, right? Not like cafeteria meetings here. Okay. In a company cafeteria meetings, that is different. Not like because of Agile, we can work
Evening
only
time.
6 hours and 2 hours spending in cafeteria. It's
Evening
not
time
like
party.
that.
Evening time party.
Right. So these particular 2 hours will be considering as a meetings here. Okay. These particular meetings, it can be stand-up meeting, status meeting, scrum meeting, or any project related meetings, team lead related meetings, a number of. So most of the time, when you're working with the Agile, definitely there is a chance you have to be spend the time in meetings also. But the concept is not like don't get understand like first 6 hours you will spend on testing and remaining 2 hours you will work on continuously meeting. It's not like that. In a total 8 hours, okay, in a total 8 hours, it will be planned. Like what test lead will be doing, he will be coming up with the plan considering like, so tester can spend 6 hours in doing all the testing related activity. Remaining 2 hours, he will need to be get spent related to meetings. According to that, it will be getting planned in Agile here. So this is how the terminologies you need to be get comfortable in getting working with Agile. Apart from all these terminologies, there are lot of other terminologies also there. Agile, it's not like in a very small subject. Agile itself, a totally different training, which is taking care about 2 months of training. Like who has been working as a Scrum Masters, those guys will be taking care about a very detailed of this particular Agile training program. But for your level as a developer or as a tester, at least you need to be get comfortable in common terminologies as part of the Agile here. But because of the model, your development activities or testing activities not making you the difference. Agile, different testing, and V model, different testing, waterfall model, different testing. It's not like that. Your testing activities will be the same while working any kind of the model, but you have to aware of the process while working with each and every particular model here. So this is what we need to be get mentioning about SDLC models, considering as waterfall model, V model, Agile model. So while you guys attending with the interviews, take care about how it can get explained to the interview. Definitely, fresher level, experience level, there is a chance you will be getting in a question asking about what is mean by V model, what is mean by Agile, difference between waterfall model and Agile, different possibility of questions will be there. You have to comfortable and getting answering to the interviewer. In real time, you're not making any major things here, but you have to aware of all these particular terminologies here. Okay? Clear everyone? Up to this, everyone is clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
sir.
PDF.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect,
Yes,
guys.
sir.
Okay, right. Now, the next part, we need to be get start our actual things. Okay, so now we need to be get start our actual testing concepts. Till now, we are into SDLC. Consider as software development life cycle. But our actual training program, which need to be get mentioning about STLC, considering as software testing life cycle, considering as software testing life cycle. Now let's understand about in a very detailed of what is mean by this STLC.
What happened, sir? No voice. No voice.
Sorry,
Wait a minute.
Why? What happened?
Sir.
Everything okay?
Sir got call.
What,
Sir is talking to someone. I
Just
think.
wait, man.
what happened, man?
Yeah, right.
Can someone
Now,
tell, sir? No voice. No voice.
just wait, don't be in a hurry, guys. Don't be panic. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, don't hurry, burry, and spoil the curry.
No, basically, I was working in the real time. I used to be get some project calls also. Because of that, I'll be attending some calls. Nothing to worry. Okay. Yeah.
Sir, you're
Now-
making a lot of money, sir.
Right. Now, see the concept. We need to begin understand about and getting implementing with STLC, considering as a software testing life cycle. Okay. As a tester in real time, what we have to do? Let's see that. Let's look into that. Now, whenever we are working with STLC, as part of STLC, okay, as part of STLC, the first step need to be done. The very first step mentioning the requirements understanding. Okay, the first step we need to be get mentioning the requirements understanding. Okay, after that, next we need to be get mentioning about test plan. The second thing mentioning the test plan. After that, we need to be get consider test scenarios. We need to be get consider test scenarios. After that, mentioning that test execution. Okay, test execution. And then we need to be get taking care about bug reporting. Okay, we need to be get taking care about bug reporting. And the last activity mentioning the test closure. Okay, the last activity considering as a test closure. It may be fresher level, it may be experience level. Any project, it may be banking project, insurance project, manufacturing project. It may develop in Java, it may be developed in testing, it may be developed in Python. Any technology, we are not worried. We are clearly mentioning that testing is totally independent of development technology. Okay, we are not worried about project developed in Java, developed in .NET, whatever it may be. We are not worried. Our target is, our role is, we have to test an application. If you want to be get, test an application. If you want to be get, test any kind of project. Okay, if you want to be get, test any kind of project, we need to be get, follow these particular steps. Okay, we need to be get followed these particular steps, mentioning the requirements understanding, and then test plan, and then scenarios, and then execution, and then bug reporting, and then test closure. As part of manual testing, we have to learn all these things here. So step by step, by taking the help of the project, we'll get understand about how we can work with all these particular things here. Before getting started with this, before getting started with this particular part, one more we need to be get understand. One more concept we have to be perform is mentioning about folder creation. Okay, we need to be get understand about folder creation. What exactly mean by this? Why it has been came into the picture? A very simple understanding. Let's consider your laptops or your desktop. In your laptop, you guys will maintain lot of data. Is that you guys are maintaining the all your data of your laptop in one folder or multiple folder?
Multiple folders.
Multiple folders, right? Is it all you guys are creating the same folders in the laptops?
No, sir.
No, right? Absolutely
No, sir.
no. Rather
Recording in
than
progress.
one folder. Okay, the reason we are taking with multiple folders rather than one folder, to make our access will be very easy, right? To make our access will be very easy, and maintenance also very easy, because a lot of things we will maintain. Nowadays, you guys are very crazy about with the selfies. You will create one folder saying that all black photos, one folder, all white photos, one folder, or whatever it may be. different folders you are creating.
With
By
goals,
that,
sir?
yeah,
With
your
goals, sir.
maintenance will become a very easy. In future, if you want to get access the required photos, just you will see the folder name and then you will be accessing with the photos. So concept is, the conclusion is, the reason we are going with multiple folders, mainly two things here. One is to make maintenance is very easy. Second thing, to make easy access. Same concept, the same concept applied in testing also. While working testing, we are not doing only one activity. Requirements different, test plan different, scenario different. We got different things here. If I maintain all these information in one folder, okay, if I maintain all these information in one folder, it will become a problem, because our maintenance or access will become a problem. Because of that, whenever we are working in real time related to that particular project and testing activities, will organize in a proper folder structure. So how you are organizing your data in your laptop, in a similar manner related to the testing, like requirements one folder, test plan one folder. Based on project requirement, it will be created multiple folders, and then you need to be get organized in a proper part. So this is how the folder creation came into the picture. Okay. Now, as part of our training program, okay, as part of our training program also, we are following the same concept. So how you will be working in the real time, the same thing you are learning here. Now, here, first we have to start in doing folder creation. Okay. In real time, what will happen? In real time, this particular folder creation will be created in one of the repository. Meaning of repository. Meaning of repository, it can consider common storage. Okay. Meaning of repository, it can consider common storage. So just according to that project, some common storage will be there. There are a lot of tools are there. You may heard about like GitHub or TFS, Team Foundation Server. There are n number of tools are there. It's not like you have to learn all the tools here. Any tool, that is just one common repository here. You will upload the document and you can download the documents. In that particular repository, the folders will be getting created. Now, as part of our learning, as part of our training purpose also, you guys individually, you need to create the folders. Okay. You guys also need to create the folders individually. First I will explain how to create the folders, what are the folders need to be created, and where that folders need to be created. First, let me complete my explanation. Okay. First, let me complete my explanation. After session is done, then you can start creating all the folders here. Okay, so first let me provide very detailed information. What are the steps you have to follow? Okay, now see that you guys need to create the folder. Once you create the folder, I have to see what are the folders you have been created. Okay, so I need to monitor all your work. I want to go with the pure real time here. Okay, whatever the work you are doing, it has to be visible for me. Because of that, what I done is we are also taking one of the repository. Okay, we are also for the practice purpose, we are using one particular repository mentioning the OneDrive. Okay, for our practice purpose to have one common access, we are taking with the help of OneDrive. So how you guys need to be accessed? What are the steps need to be done? Okay, what are the steps need to be done? See that the very first step, what you have to do is the very first step, what you guys need to be do is you need to be create OneDrive account. Okay, you have to create OneDrive account. That URL I given in the chart window. Okay, everyone make a note of that. Okay, so the URL I have been given in the chart window. Okay, so just everyone have that URL. Just for now, just you guys can save in one of the notepad file. Once again, I'm giving with the URL in the chart window. Okay, what is that URL? Say this URL. Once you got open the URL. Right, let me give the URL here. Right, so once you have been open this URL, once you have been open the URL, it will provide a very detailed step how to create a Microsoft OneDrive account. Okay, including the screenshot, sign up for free, create Microsoft account with the help of your Gmail ID. Already you guys will be having Gmail ID. You need to take with the Gmail ID and then you can create. It will be asking your own password and you can provide all your details here. If already having OneDrive account, not required to create. Okay, if you guys are already having OneDrive account, not required to create it. Okay, be very clear. First step, I given the URL in the chart window. Please make a note of that URL, what I given in the chart window. Okay, yeah, so just once again I'm giving the URL in the Zoom chart window. Just once again I'm giving in Zoom chart window. So just you guys, okay, so now just you guys take care about that particular part. Okay, so now you have been completed creating Microsoft account. Okay, done. Just make sure that you have been created one OneDrive account. Now you are having OneDrive account. Okay, next what you have to do, see the next step.
Wait for the notes. Where you upload the notes?
Just wait, man, just wait. Now, okay, this is one part. Okay, next what you have to do is the next step. Once you have been completed in creating OneDrive account, after completion of creating the OneDrive account, now I'm giving under build one again subfolder. The hierarchy what I have been given in the PDF file. the hierarchy what I have been given in the PDF file. In the same hierarchy, you guys need to be complete creating the folders. Everyone individually, all these folders need to be created in OneDrive. How to create? I'll discuss. Okay. How to create? I'll be discussing. So first, what you can do, I given the OneDrive URL. Okay. Let me ping you once again. Let me ping you once again. Don't access now, guys, because as all the people accessing same time, it will disturb. So after completion of the session, you can try. Now, I given the URL in the chart window. Once you entered the URL, once you got enter with the URL, you will be able to see all these folders. One folder is testing notes. Under testing notes, manual testing. As part of our training program, what we are discussing, everything very detailed I have been documented. For tomorrow, what is the assignment? For tomorrow, assignment is you guys need to be refer this PDF file in page number 10. In page number 10, you got list of the folders. Okay, it goes. Okay, it got mentioning about list of the folders. Okay, so now you can see that. Okay, now what you can do is, now the next part, what you can do is testing batches. Okay, next one is testing batches. Under testing batches, for your batch, I'm just creating one folder. Okay, I'm just creating one folder. Okay, I'm just creating with the one folder. Now we can see I'm taking new folder. It is asking credentials. I'm entering my credentials. You guys can try with your credentials. Okay, you have to log in with your credentials. Let me do the login. Okay, let me do the login here. Oh. So here you got a folder name, full stack program, right? So under testing batches, okay, under testing batches, I'm creating one folder. I'm just creating one particular folder mentioning about first batch. Okay, I'm just creating one folder as a first batch. Guys, don't create now, guys. Please see, behave like a professionals. Don't behave like an Amir paid students. I'm clearly saying that don't access now. Again,
See, sir, most of these people don't have common sense.
See, guys, see, if you create this full, let me complete my explanation because it will disturb. I want to be given a real time, guys. Please allow me to give a proper information. So see, if you are creating this full stack program you created, now you deleted my folder, that will disturb it. That will disturb all the people, guys.
So block the access. Why are you giving them access?
Right. Okay. Now I can see here. So I'm clearly saying that. So here, be very clear. First, let me here. So first is testing batches. Under that, I got created with the folder. Okay. It got deleted. Let me revert back. See, when you guys are working with the OneDrive, be very careful. I can easily understand who are taking with the culprit because all the OneDrive is under my control. If you are guys are doing something, I can easily understand who will the culprit also. So please don't go with unnecessary things. Please follow the hierarchy. Now,
So there are 350 people. So there 350 people will make changes.
Yeah. So that is the reason I'm clearly saying that please utilize in a very proper manner. Okay. Now, first I created one folder, batch 1, for your purpose, for your batch who are attending the training now. Under that, create one folder with your name. For example, as an example, I'm creating name. Okay, I'm creating one folder with my name. In a similar manner, you guys also need to be create with your name. Provide proper name. Don't provide nicknames. Don't provide girlfriend names or any other things here. You have to be very professional, guys. So please behave like in a very professional. Think like you are in a real time. You have to act as a real time. Okay. So here you need to begin create with the one folder. Okay. So create this particular folder, right? So now once you have been created the folder, then refer the PDF file. According to the PDF file, you guys can create. Now I'm completing and creating my hierarchy. First is project folder. Make a note of the project name. Our project name is Adaptin. Our project name is Adaptin. You guys can make a note of our project name. Our project name is Adaptin. That is the first folder. Under that, all the hierarchy. Okay, I'm just creating with the folder name, documents. Okay, and then one more folder. You guys need to be follow the hierarchy. You guys need to be follow the hierarchy. The hierarchy what I have been mentioned in the PDF file. The hierarchy what I have been given in the PDF file need to be follow the same here. Okay, just empty folders for today. I mean the assignment for the tomorrow session. The assignment for the tomorrow session is just like empty folders. Empty folders need to be created, not like any major things need to be done. Okay, testing concept will be very interesting, guys. When you compare with development, this will be very interesting. I'm not criticizing developer. In simple, I'm saying like when you compare, like more interesting. You guys will be have more interest in working. So please attend the sessions regularly, hear the concepts very properly, act as a real time. Feel that you are in a tester, you are working in real time. So all these are real time things here. So in real time as a tester, how you have to behave, how you have to work, the same thing I'm giving. Okay, right. Let me give the conclusion here. Okay, let me give the conclusion. Now, what you have to do, I given the URL. Okay, I given the OneDrive URL, shared URL I given. I have been already given the access to all the people. Okay, now what you guys need to be do, once you guys enter the URL in the browser, you will have testing notes. There you can refer PDF file for reference. In the PDF file, refer page number 10 for the purpose of knowing that what are the folders need to be created. By referring that page number 10, go to testing batches. Under testing batches, batch 1. Under batch 1, you have to create one folder with your proper name. I created one folder with my name. In a similar manner, you need to create with the folder with your name. Under that, one folder with project name. Our project name is Adaptin. Under that, all the project related hierarchy. Okay, so under that, you need to be taking with all the project related. So according to the PDF file, you can complete creating all these particular folder structure. So for tomorrow's session, assignment is creation of empty folders in OneDrive of the given URL. I given two URLs. First URL to create your own OneDrive account. Second URL to access shared folder of OneDrive. Then you have to complete creating with the folder. To create the folder, you can have an option is new and then folder, it will be asking about folder name. You need to be provide folder name, then it will be created. As a given share access, if you guys create it, I will be getting the visibility. So I can monitor all the people. So how you guys are working, any kind of issues, I can easily understand here. Okay. So now
Simple asset.
for tomorrow. So for
It's simple as-
tomorrow, everyone need to be get complete the assignment of creation of empty folder structure in OneDrive.
The 5 minutes work, sir. 5 minutes work. That's all.
Yeah, just 5 minutes work only, but need to be work properly. Don't get access from mobile, guys. Please don't access from mobile. If you access from mobile, if you access
Sir,
from
only
the-
one student is showing.
no, just wait, guys. If you are accessing from the mobile, it will disturb the hierarchy. Please access the URL from your laptop, desktop. By that, it will give the clear appearance here. Okay? Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Up
Yes,
to
sir.
now, everyone is clear?
Sir. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay.
Sir, is
Perfect.
that can we create in our personal laptops other
Ah.
than OneDrive?
You can create in OneDrive as well as you guys can maintain in your personal laptops also for your safe side. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
It should be in the form of 01 and corresponding to name.
No. Number not required, but your proper name. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Your proper name should be there. That's it. Yeah. Okay. So now this is the very first activity. So as part of tester, whenever we guys are working in the real time. So whenever we are working in the real time as part of tester, this is what the first activity. By that, the whole project related our testing data, you will be maintaining according to that particular folder structure. Okay, done. Now we need to be get start a most important one, mentioning about requirements understanding. Okay,
Start that tomorrow.
requirements. Yeah.
Sir, in real time in the company, do they work on common drive?
Absolutely. So not like OneDrive, like similar things. Like here for a easy understanding practice purpose, I gone with OneDrive. In the real time, similar thing will be done. The like shared part will now I given the shared URL, right? In a similar manner, network team will be giving an URL with the access. You guys are creating OneDrive account, right? In a similar manner, real time also, network team will take care about all the access and everything. You will not be worried about all these things here. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, right. Fine. So now the next part we need to be get understand is requirements. So what exactly mean by this particular requirement part? Okay. So what exactly need to be get mentioning about this particular requirements part here? Okay. Right. Now see the concept here. Okay. Now, as a tester, if you want to be get, okay, as a tester, okay, if you want to be get test with the application, okay, you need to be get comfortable. You need to be get comfortable with requirements here. Okay. You need to be get comfortable with the requirements. Okay. Now, in a real time, client will be providing the requirements. Okay. In the real time, client will be providing the requirements. How they will be providing? It's not like just to have one or two meetings with the client and client is explaining the requirement and they will be understanding all the things here. It's not like that, which is not like in a very easy Just client is explaining and you're making a note down of that and then starting testing activity. Not like in a very easy here. Okay, so not like in a very easy here. Okay, because of that, what client will be doing is they will client and a BA, they will confirm the requirements. It will get documented in a one word file. Requirements will be documented in one particular word file. That particular word file, we got a technical terminology that is mentioning about BRS. Mentioning the BRS. Consider as business requirement specification. Okay, consider as business requirement specification. Okay, now by referring this document, if this document is provided by the client, as a tester, you have to go through this document, understand what are the information provided. In common, in BRS document, business requirement specification, how their business is running. Okay, so how their business will be running, that information it will be provided. Like you can understand like domain knowledge, like what kind of business activity they are doing, that information will be provided in BRS document. Okay, next you will have one more document mentioning the SRS. Consider as software requirement specification. Okay, SRS, software requirement specification. How software need to be developed, how software need to be tested, that will be provided. If required, there is a chance you may have one more document mentioning the FRS, considering the functional requirement specification. Okay, FRS, functional requirement specification. BRS, business requirement specification. SRS, software requirement specification. FRS, functional requirement specification. These are all some requirement document. When you guys are working in the real time, what client will be doing? These particular requirement documents will get uploaded in the folder, like in the common repository. We created one particular folder saying that, mentioning about documents here. So under the documents or any other folder name. Okay, so there client will get upload project related documents. That is a common access related to the project. So you guys can access that. Now you will be going through that particular requirement documents and you have to understand, okay, this is what the project requirement, this is how I need to be test the application. Okay, but again, in the real time, not like every project you will get all three documents. It depends on the project and it depends on the client. There is a chance of, okay, there is a chance of you may get three documents. You may get three documents or any one document. You may get three documents or you may get any one document or combination. Okay, so there is a possibility you will be getting 3 documents, you will be getting any one document, you may get combination. That depends on the project. But what you have to do, according to the project, whatever the documents are available, you have to go through that particular requirements. Okay, assume that any of these document is not available. Chances are there in some of the projects, chances are there you are not getting any of the requirement document. If there is no requirement document, then for the client, we need to be asked in getting providing mockups. For the client, we need to be asked to provide mockups, saying that, so client, you have not provided requirements, but at least provide the mockups, nothing but screenshot. Mockups are nothing but screenshot related to that project. In case of any screenshot is there, it can provide that particular screenshot. By that, as a tester, we can refer that particular screenshot and will understand what need to be tested. Now, in the real time, in some projects, you may get requirement document and you may get mockups. Both the things can be provided, or any one, either requirements or mockups. And sometime there is a chance any of these things. I mean, there is a chance there is no requirements and there is no mockups also. Then how we can test it? Requirements are not available, mockups also not available. Then for the client, we need to be get asked in providing sample application. Okay, for the client, we need to be get asked in getting providing sample application. Meaning of sample application. Meaning of sample application or similar application. The meaning of sample application or similar application. What we can say? Take an example of ICICI Bank, SDLC Bank. Both are available. You are working on application of ICICI Bank. So the client not able to provide the requirement. So what client suggested? Testing team, I cannot provide the requirement. But what you guys can do, refer SDFC Bank application, how it has been designed. According to that, it can test my application also. Then what we can do? We can refer STFC Bank application. We'll see how the things has been done. The similar functionality we can test in the ICICI Bank application. So if client is not able to provide the requirement document or mockups, we need to be get asked to provide any sample application. The whole conclusion. The conclusion is, as a tester, if you want to be get test an application, first we need to be very clear about the requirements. Once we are clear about the requirements, then only we can continue the testing. Without knowing what need to be tested, we cannot go with the testing. Same concept of your driving. If you want to be driving a car, it is mandatory you have to know the driving. Because of BMW or because of Audi, because of new car, without knowing how to drive in a car, you cannot drive it. Same concept. You are in a tester. You're an experienced person, whatever it may be. But if you want to be get test any kind of application, what kind of functionalities need to be tested? That part you have to be very clear. So that is what we are mentioning, that requirements understanding. So how the requirement documents will be provided related to our project, how we can get the requirement documents, all those I will be discussing. Okay. And to have an update for everyone, please inform of your friends who has been already exit from the meeting also. Your sessions will be continued till, Saturday also session will be there. And this Sunday also session will be there. So please everyone have a plan according to that.